What is the go-to retro exercise? Ooh, well, it used to be Mad Side Glad. I'll be honest. I remember many moons ago when I did my training, Gene Baker and Sal Freudenberg did a great job of introducing us to lots and lots of exercises, including a particularly memorable reenactment of Goldilocks and the Three Bears. But when I left there, what I found was most Scrum Masters, most Agile coaches used Mad Side Glad. A very simple exercise where, 3 colour post-its, if you're posh, a piece of flip chart or a bit of wall in 3 areas. What makes you mad about the sprint? What's really got your blood boiling? What makes you sad? What are you disappointed about? What do you wish could be different? Okay, and what makes you glad? And that was it. We went through and we created these 3 columns very often of things, found affinities and stuff like that. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that exercise. The problem is that was all I saw being run. And put my hand up, it's probably what I ran for the first few before I came across more ideas, more ways of doing it. These days, I hear a lot about the 4 L's, similar exercise, but instead of Mad Side Glad, is what did you like, what did you learn, what did you loathe, what did you love, what did you lack. As long as it starts with L, you can throw it in the mix. Pick 4 of them that will help you. And Scrum Masters fall into this trap of running the same thing over and over again. There's other common ones. You'll find people who love the sailboat exercise, which is a brilliant exercise. What I'm trying to get to here is there are lots of exercises that are common. It will depend on who trained you and what they like and what they introduce you to, because it's really easy. You think, okay, I know that one, and you start using it. Nothing wrong with that. Okay. It might be your organisation. They run particular things. Some of the frameworks specify retrospectives and how to approach them. Okay. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. The issue comes in when that's all you do. Can you imagine turning up to a meeting knowing how everything's going to work? Before you've even set foot in the room or logged on, you know what the conversation's going to be about. You know the structure. Nothing is going to change. Really, that's the most common thing I see, is Scrum Masters pick an exercise and then stick to it, regardless of outcome, because they're comfortable, because they know how to facilitate it, they know how people are going to respond. And I get that. It's comfy. We want the route of least effort through our work. But the truth is we're no longer doing our job. We're not challenging the team. We're not helping them to improve. We're not creating that environment where we can challenge them and, support them and cheerlead them. What we're doing is we're giving them a place where they're going to stop thinking, because they're going to recognise, okay, this is a retrospective. We talked about that. Like, he's going to do this, then he's going to do this, then he's going to do this. Right, I don't really need to think. I know my answers. I don't have to hear what other people say. I can get in, I can get out, minimum of effort. They're doing exactly what you're doing at that point. Their brain is just saying, you know what, there's a route through this that doesn't need me. And that's good, because that saves energy. And that's what we want to do. So the most common thing that I see is not an exercise. There are lots of them and they're great. The most common thing is truly one person using the same exercise regardless. What I would implore you to do as a Scrum Master, as an Agile coach, is go out, search the web, have a look. There are great examples of exercises. There are great books on it. There are videos. There are whole websites dedicated to exploring the space. And try things out. Try different things. Mix and match. If you're going into a retrospective and you're comfortable, I would say that's the issue. Okay? You don't want to be nervous. You don't want to have anxiety overtake you. But you want to go in thinking, I wonder how they're going to respond to this. I wonder what this is going to bring out. How is this going to change the conversation that we're going to have today? And that way you know that they don't know what's coming. Not with any surety. All they do know is that John changes it up a bit. Not a lot. I'm not talking wholesale changes every time you go into a sprint retrospective. but you're changing it up, you're keeping things fresh and different. What that will do is it'll invite conversation, it will keep them alert for that change. What they do know is that something's going to be different. So we can introduce new exercises mixed in with ones they're familiar with, so that they're not just learning through the retrospective. And then we can play them back through. And as we expand our repertoire, we get comfortable, and we get comfortable with what works for this team versus what works for that team. What really didn't work, they didn't like that at all, but they loved it. That's great. Okay, we'll learn this. We'll learn how we work with the teams. We'll learn how we work with the organisation. And we're going to get better results out of our retrospectives. We're going to create an environment where they are thinking, where they are engaged, where they are hopefully enjoying it. Okay. Lots of Scrum Masters put pressure on themselves. Lots of Agile coaches put pressure on themselves to keep it fresh, keep it fun. Have themes, have all of these things. You don't need to do that. I'll be honest. It's nice if you can. That's not my skill set. I'm not that creative type. I beg, borrow and steal from people within my network. And it's a sharing community. They do the same. So if you find yourself using the same approach, the same plan for a retrospective time and again, please go out, find some new ones, talk with your teams, be honest, be vulnerable, say that you want to try some new stuff. Have the old stuff prepped. Nothing wrong with being prepared. But try the new things. See what happens. If you've got to this point in the video, I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, a like would be appreciated. If you want to hear more from me, more answers to questions that maybe you've got in the Agile world, please subscribe to the channel. And if you've got a question that you really want answered, drop it in the comments. I promise we'll get around to it. Thank you.